Thank you for having me. As Mayor of the Share, this is a topic that I'm very passionate about. And I have heard lots of times people wait their whole life to meet their hero, and I had the complete honor of giving birth to mine. Our son, Connor, was diagnosed when he was very, very young. He became very ill. So at this time, he was 6 weeks old, projectile vomiting, crying, inconsolable, sweaty, shaky. We brought him into the emergency room, and then it was immediately discovered that there was something major going on, and we needed to get transported from our local Hudson Hospital to Children's in St. Paul. Upon arrival, they did a CT scan, and they discovered a mass in his head. The mass took up his entire left hemisphere. So they prepped him for emergency brain surgery with the expectation that he would not survive surgery. He was, again, 6 weeks old. This mass was huge. He did survive surgery, and then we were given 4 or 5 days later for the pathology to come back, the diagnosis of congenital glioblastoma multiforme stage 4, so very, very highly malignant and deadly cancer. Connor was prepped for chemotherapy. He went through 4 rounds, monthly chemotherapy, and chemotherapy with an infant has its pros and cons as well, because he really didn't know what was going on, but he also really couldn't communicate any pain or discomfort that he was feeling. And then he had a bone marrow transplant. He was the youngest at the time of receiving a bone marrow transplant at the University of Minnesota. They harvested his stem cells, made them the super cancer fighting cells, and gave them back to him, all before he was 7 months old. The best part is that Connor is now 15 years old, and he is the longest living survivor. He really is an amazing kid, and he's here because of the research that was done in the months and weeks, years before we were those parents in the emergency room given this terrible diagnosis. His survivorship did come with a cost. Connor has a lot of late effects from his treatment. He is taller than me, so growth has not been an issue for him, but he does have a lot of cognitive delays. He has hearing loss from the chemotherapy, he has vision impairment from the optical nerve that was severed, and he has a seizure disorder that goes through periods of control and not. But he's got a fighting spirit. He knows how to find joy every day, and that's the lens that we use in caring for Connor. Each day, 47 families will hear the words that their child has cancer. The average age of a child diagnosed with cancer is 6. Kids with cancer lose an average of 71 living years. 1 in 5 kids will not survive their cancer. There are parents that still hear the words after they've been given a cancer diagnosis, we don't have a plan, we don't have a cure. We can give you some life sustainability, some extension of life, and that's just not acceptable to us. And the survivors will be dealing with side effects for the rest of their life. Some more major than others, but they will all have side effects. Chemotherapy takes its toll, surgery takes its toll on these young growing bodies. So we have work to do. We believe that we can make a positive impact in the world of childhood cancer at Children's Cancer Research Fund, and we are making incredible progress. We support the researchers and doctors who are leading the way in research. We support the kids and families on this unending journey, and it is an honor to get to work with the families that I do every day. As Meredith mentioned, I work in community outreach and with our family programs and services. And one of the check boxes for the programs and services is they have to give something back. They have to be meaningful to the family to make a difference. We create events to raise awareness and funding. And we specialize in many different hard-to-treat areas that we award, as well as emerging scientists, so the young doctors that have promising things that need to get funded to get to bedside. All of this information about children's cancer can be found on our website, childrenscancer.org, because I'm not going to read all of it for you because that will get very boring, but there's a lot of amazing things in progress. We are incredibly grateful for those of you who are joining us on our mission. The families that deal with this diagnosis are tired. and they spend all of their focus, as they should, on fighting for their children's lives. They cannot do it alone. Childhood cancer diagnoses affect an entire community, not just the family that's been touched by it. And we're talking schools, playtime, sports, outside activities, inside activities, the isolation. And as you can imagine, coming out of COVID has been even more of a struggle for the families that we work with. Together, our impact is greater. Lions roar, lions care, and lions make an impact. We experience firsthand the difference that can be made by individuals just like you. There was meals brought to our door when we least expected it. One particularly I remember was a Thanksgiving meal, and I absolutely stood on that front step and cried with that surprise delivery of food for our family. Help with driveway clearing with the winters that come our way. But most importantly, it was knowing that we weren't alone in our fight, that there was people in our community that cared about us and wanted to make it as best possible for us. Together, by helping sharing awareness about childhood cancer, raising funds for family programs and vital research, or helping another local family in need are amazing and supportive ways to get involved with our cause. So mostly I'm here today to say thank you. Thank you for caring, thank you for participating in events like the Great Cycle Challenge, and for making an impact in communities that you selflessly serve. Thank you from my heart and for all the families' lives that you have touched. We are so, so incredibly grateful. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your evening.